What is up, my Lorcana Goons? This is the Friday Market Watch. Happy December, everybody. I forgot to wear my Christmas hat, but I'm here with Zach Stone. How you doing, Zach Stone? Good morning. Zach Stone is a professional card seller. He does this for a living, and we're going to talk about these low market prices. How you feeling today, Zach?
Yeah, I'm feeling very good, feeling very good. We have some really low prices, so low, it's low as the amount of people that actually subscribe that watch our content. So if you are watching our market watches, deck profiles, or showcases on new cards when they come out, and you're not subscribed, what are you doing?
Exactly. You gotta hit that like and subscribe button and leave some comments on how you're feeling today with these card prices being so low and these booster box prices dipping. If you didn't know, today is the official big box launch day for Lorcana, so you can find it at Disneyland. Maybe some stores are online. Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop was supposed to have it apparently. Who else, Zach? Who else? We have Walmart, Target.
Yeah, I mean, you got FYE, you got Hot Topic, those low key stores you find in the malls. Be open to checking out your GameStops too, because they're very, very punctual about like the release dates.
Barnes and
I remember
Noble.
Kevin and I actually got some first chapter. Yes, Barnes and Noble, and you can call ahead at Barnes and Noble and ask if they haven't even in stock, so you don't have to show up there and be disappointed like I was plenty of times.
Yeah, man. Pretty cool that all these stores are gonna carry it. It's just gonna be really hard to find. So don't get your hopes super high like me because then I'll be disappointed. But let's get into these prices. I'm gonna start off with the first chapter booster box price. If you guys want to take a look here, this price has been dipping. It's less than $200 now. It's still not MSRP, but hey, man, it looks like we're dragging it down all the way there. There's so many reprints happening. There's reprints of the first chapter as well happening in these big box retailers. So I've been seeing first chapter packs at like Target, Walmart as well, next to Rise of the Floodborn packs. So Ravensburger clearly was ready for this, and they are gonna keep the product coming at least for this year for the Christmas season, like they said. And then we have the booster box for the Rise of the Floodborn. These are going to be a little bit closer to what we paid that very first day. 223 verified by WF Gaming Co. here. So this is pretty cheap. They got 6 of them. So hey, man, if you want to buy 6 boxes and not have to pay shipping from 6 different sellers, you can just buy it all from these people. So there's boxes for less than 250. Yeah, I feel like last week it was hitting that like 250 to almost $300 mark, and today, now that it's December 1st and there's product on the shelves, the pricing has to come down, right? And we even have some prices going up for sealed product on the first chapter, like the first chapter gift set. These have been selling for closer to $80 this week, alongside with the 100 collector's edition gift set selling for a little bit closer to 90. These fell a decent amount. I think they printed a lot at Disneyland, and a lot of people are trying to get rid of them, especially now that these December 1st packs are going to hit the shelves and everything. A lot of people are looking for sealed product, but they may not be looking for the gift set. Maybe they want sealed product because they want to open it. And I feel like the D100 gift set has more of a collector's value to it. So you really do have to find the collectors that want to buy it, as opposed to somebody who's really trying to build decks. You're only getting 4 packs out of this. So there's not really a demand to pay, I think, $90 for 4 packs when there's going to be all these people looking for Target packs, Walmart packs today. So at least for now, the D100 collector's editions are less than $100. So I don't know. I don't think that's an amazing price. Obviously, MSRP is what you want to pay. But if you're somebody who wants to collect it and you feel like you're not going to be able to get it, maybe this might be the time to start looking into some of these things, right? Because the prices are low. We have the Enchanted market that we're going to talk about. Cinderella Ballroom Sensation, less than $300 right now. Everything seems to be on sale. Don't want to get too much into this, but there's a lot of listings for this too. And 270 is going to be about what you're paying for a Cinderella Ballroom Sensation, going by the lowest verified. And then we have the lowest Enchanted rare in not only Rise of the Floodborn, but it's looking like the lowest Enchanted rare in general. We have Pete Bad Guy yesterday, and yesterday some were selling for less than $100. We have $98, $90, $95 sales going on here. Obviously, we can't check the shipping, but around $100 is going to be what you want to pay for Pete, which is kind of less than Enchanted Hades, you know? So maybe Pete Pete might be the most inexpensive enchanted rare, and I think Pete's a pretty good card. And I was kind of bad mouthing the artwork last time because he's just opening the door as opposed to walking to the door in the other one. But I kind of like it. He looks like a humble bad guy, right? And we
I think Pete's the original goon, man. I think he's the original goon because look at this guy. He's ready. He's ready to get into some trouble. He's not afraid to rough somebody up, and most definitely opening that door with some strength, bro. He's a big guy. He's a big boy.
Oh yeah.
He's ready. And don't get me wrong. As far as like card quality goes, I don't think he's like the best in terms of like what he can do. He gains the extra strength. However, he has that kind of that choice where, oh, I have a bunch of strength or I can gain more lore. Like, what are you trying to do? Challenge like a big character, or are you trying to gain the lore? Like you kind of have a choice whenever you're designing a card like this and choosing to play it in your deck at least. So my honest opinion is that like his artwork's really cool. I really want one for my own like collection. I'm probably just gonna keep one because he looks really cool. But other than that, the card is at least the character himself is older than Mickey, and that is something to think about.
Oh yeah. He's the OG goon. He's the bad guy in Oswald's storyline, right? So yeah, you're right. You're right. But and speaking of bad guys, who do we have next? So we have Shere Khan, the enchanted menacing predator alternate art. Zach, tell us about Shere Khan.
Shere Khan is a very, very, very cool looking card. So cool that we're deciding to actually do a prize tournament, an enchanted prize tournament, this Saturday at our card shop in Long Beach. At Pele Cards and Games. You guys are local to the area. You guys are familiar with the store. Definitely come by this Saturday. We are changing the days. Normally they were Tuesdays and now they're Saturdays. But overall, the card has an interesting price point with a couple listings about like $125. After that, they kind of just dramatically go up to $145. However, none have sold at that price up until I think a few days ago. And then another thing to mention is like the card itself has like an interesting interesting little like text as far as like when your characters challenge another character, and I feel like there's going to be just like a way to like take advantage of that. And when his like playability goes up, his enchanted price will go up.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we're not gonna get like a whole set rotation anytime soon because I feel like a lot of these cards they have a lot of use case. Like the Shere Khan, when you read it, it just sounds like a good card, and we're just kind of waiting for a format that'll kind of let this be. I still think it can happen in this format. It's really good against a Rockstar Stitch deck, so crazy. But no, I totally feel you there. I totally feel there. In terms of singles that are non-enchanted, we have some pretty interesting prices. Let's look at the most expensive legendary we've had from all of Lorcana so far. Rapunzel, gifted with healing. Wow, this card is no longer in the $50 range. This is going to be way closer to $45. We have plenty of verified listings right here. We have Epidemic Games with 3 of them. They have it at $43.50. Shout out you guys for this low.
Hey, refresh your page, Kevin. You got a listing right now at $40.99, and there's a couple sold at $40.
Oh yeah, we gotta refresh these pages. This is only from like 15 minutes of us just talking because I just refreshed it. But yeah, we have multiple sales. We have one sale right here at 40. Wow, 2 sold at $40. And then we have another listing, Legend Games Inc., an even lower price. Shout out you guys for this even lower price. And Rapunzel, $40.99. Hey, people told everyone, wait a little bit. The cards are going to be cheap. The singles are going to go down. The boxes are going to get reprinted. And they were right. Prices are going to come down. At $40 for a legendary is still kind of high. I know a lot of us can't pay that. But Rapunzel is a staple in any Amber deck right now. So consider maybe making some trades for this card now that December 1st has met our fate, because a lot of these cards are taking a dip. Maleficent Monstrous Dragon as low as $30 by the lowest verified. That's pretty cool. Maleficent Monstrous Dragon being used in the Popsicle deck, so very important staple in the Popsicle deck, along with Hades, the Infernal Schemer. Hades is actually kind of keeping its value though. It really didn't come down much. It's still in that $25 range, but you're gonna see a lot of the first chapter cards kind of also take a nosedive this week. So much of the first chapter got reprinted that cards like Surfer Stitch, Elsa, they're all gonna Belle, they're all gonna be less than $20. And even super rares are gonna be more in that $10 range, right? So that's kind of wild in my opinion.
I think another wild thing to say is the Beast in the Wild. Tragic Hero Beast, sadly, is stabilizing but not in the best shape. It's starting to trend downward, and I see prices like hitting below 30 with shipping included, of course. But you see most of the prices are trending downward, and I don't know. I like this card a lot, but I've always felt that cards that are like shiftable get much better when you can shift them on curve, and there isn't a way to shift this guy on curve yet. However, I still think he's a strong card by himself. Steel does have a lack of draw power outside of a whole new world, and does have to combo with some other color combinations to get some draw power, like Amethyst and Amber. And another beast I feel like is also going pretty low in price is the Relentless Beast. Kevin, what happened to this guy?
Yeah, he is half off basically. It's like it's like Black Friday 2.0. Can you believe that? Yeah, Black Friday came a week late apparently because yeah, Beast Relentless was like $35 when it came out. And then we can even take it a step back and remember those pre-sale prices, man. Those pre-sale prices for these cards were ridiculous. People were listing this card for like 60 some dollars, 70 some dollars, and now look at this.
These prices ain't so beautiful and ain't so beast. And speaking of beauties, the Bell Archer is also half off. Look at this. Look at this card too, Kevin.
Yeah.
$20 right now.
I mean, hey, I said it when it was a $40 card. You can go back to all the Market Watch videos, brothers. When it was a $40 card, I said this card is not good. I don't like this card. I don't think it should be a $40 card. I don't think it deserves to have the highest legendary price in the set. It's just not good. It just loses to everything. No.
I will digress. I can't say that this card can't get better. It's only going to get better when it's shiftable on curve, but it's not even inkable.
No, but you're right though. You're right, and I want to like talk about that for a little bit because you're so right. Because these cards are really good, but we just don't have the right combination of cards to make them the best. So like I feel like they're maybe they have like potential to be collectible right now. If I could, I would stock up on like foils of Bell Hidden Archer because the moment they drop a 1 ink Bell, this card becomes infinitely better. And whether or not it becomes like a meta game changing card, it's still a shiftable 5 ink character that you can quest for 3. That sounds nice, then that sounds in general Lorcana. But the fact that we don't have a shiftable way to really play this with, like as I said, on curve, or to utilize it the way we use like the Queen right now, the Commanding Presence Queen and the Amber 1 ink Queen, it kind of makes the cards a little bit lackluster. Same thing with Beast Tragic Hero, and I'm sure they introduced the Queen Commanding Presence. I'm sure they introduced that in this set with these cards to let players know, like, hey, this is what's coming. Like this is what's going to come in either set 3, set 4, set 5. We're probably going to get a 1 ink Beast, and I'm super excited for a 1 ink Beast. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to make a whole Rapunzel and Beast deck. Maybe that's what they're setting us up for, but I digress. If you guys want to talk about more stuff like that and card theory, card news, etc., join our Discord so we can engage in awesome conversations. But let's get back into these card prices because we have some even lower prices for you. Scarvicious Cheater is another legendary that's been taking a nosedive. These were like $25. These kind of kept the price, at least a good price. They're not half off, but they're going to be as low as $17.70 by Pink Gorilla Cards. And then if we go with somebody that has more than 1,000 sales, Health Points TCG has one for $18.74. So $17 to $18 is kind of what you're going to be paying for the Scarvicious Cheater. Less than $20, maybe $20 value. Card's really good. I think it does a lot in the format right now. Definitely does a lot more than Sisu, right?
Oh, definitely. I feel like this card can be very strong. I think the better this card gets better as like tournament play can exist, because a lot more people will play around Be Prepared, and in doing so they don't play around Scarvicious Cheater. And a lot of times that you're playing the the Ruby Sapphire deck, you're not able to see a lot of cards. And a card that can let you see a lot of cards is Sisu. However, the prices are definitely good enough to at least pick up a few. This card was like around $25 on release, and it's less than like $12 right now, which I think is a very good time to buy. Like most of the cards that we're mentioning, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
But this card doesn't see much play. I don't think it's a bad card in my opinion. I just think that there's certain matchups where like it could become pretty prevalent. Like the discard deck is actually a very hard matchup for the Ruby Sapphire control deck to play against.
Mhm.
Most of the time you're going to be able to see a lot of cards, but they're going to discard them out of your hand, and eventually you'll run out of cards to play with, and you're just playing off the top of your deck. But Sisu can just give you an extra card to play with when you don't already have one, and I think that is pretty important.
Yeah, I was watching someone at my locals yesterday play the Ruby Sapphire deck, and they were playing Sisu in it. And one of the interactions I noticed was they sync, be prepared, play Sisu after. That's pretty impactful, right? Because you do kind of get to keep that tempo. But it's just unfortunately has such a weak willpower that it doesn't last very long. But hey, it's a card that I think has a lot of potential. And if you just want to play it in your deck, if you want to play any of these cards in your deck, and you're really trying to build a deck, I think, yeah, like you said, this week is a buyer's market. It's a good time to pick up some of these cards, whether or not they're going to be like the super most meta impactful, or if you just want to play with your homies and you want to play Sisu, you want to play a Riot, the dragon deck with noise and Sisus and Tuk Tuk. See, but get the cards. They're super cheap right now. You know, it's pretty, and playing the game is honestly worth it. Cinderella Stout Hearted is not going to be super cheap right now still, though. It's way cheaper than it was last week, though. So it's no longer a $25 super. Now it is as low as $14. And check this out, Vegas singles, holy heck, they have 85 of them ready for you to go. That $13 each. That's a lot. That's a Cinderella flash sale if I've ever seen it. I think we've seen Vegas singles before too. They have a gang of everything. So consider getting your Cindy Stout Hearteds this week. A lot of people are saying this card's not that good. I still think it's good, but a card that I think is even better is Arthur, the Wizard's Apprentice. This is going to be a super rare from the set as well. This was a lot closer to $20 last week, and now this week we're seeing them as low as $11.39 with $2 shipping. So let's just say $13, right? Pink Gorilla cards, and then we have a seller with more than 1,000 sales. Chili Peach. Child Peach? Shout out you guys. $13.39 for the lowest verified. Arthur, Wizard's Apprentice, a very strong card, right?
This is that card is a decent card. I like it in some decks, but I think it's not a card you want to play in the control decks. However, I will say that if these are cards that you've been waiting to pick up, now's the time. These prices are very, very good, and I personally want to like find some cards to buy because I like some of the prices that they're in, and you know what I believe in the market is generally like when cards go low, they don't stay low, not all the time. Every card has the potential to go up with future cards being released, and that's always something to consider too, is that like a lot of these decks and a lot of these card interactions have not been solved yet. This game is still new and still fresh, and a lot of people are still open to interpretation. Lady Tremaine, for example, is a card that still actually has stayed more in like the price range she's been at since she's gone up. I haven't seen her dip below $9.
Yeah.
And even though you see prices at like $7.89 with a 99 cents shipping, you are paying close to $9, and you don't see it less than that anywhere else. So again, it's a good time to buy these cards if you've been waiting, especially with some of these prices that are the way they are.
Yeah, and if you are buying off TCG Player, like we said earlier, try and find sellers like Vegas Singles that have 40 of them ready for you to go. So that way you don't have to pay shipping over and over again for multiple sellers. So that is pretty awesome. Very well said, Zach Stone. Lady Tremaine was a good point to bring up because when the set first came out, this card was about $8, and it jumped up to, no, it was like $5, and it jumped up to like $12, and now it's like at $8. And it kind of just speaks of like the like what's going on with the market and like the popularity of some cards. And you said it before also, the card prices go low and they don't always stay low. I think that because this game has a lot of potential, the more players that get into the game just means people are going to be buying up these cards. And it's not like other games like Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, where you need 3 of the cards and you don't even play 3 of every card. In this game, most of the decks play 4 of like the staples. Like you need 4 Maleficent Dragon, 4 Cindy Stoutheart. Yeah, you don't need it, but 4 Cinderella, 4 Prince John, for example, or something. But we have Cinderella Ballroom Sensation. This card is like half off. This was like $20 a week ago, and now they're as low as $10. Vegas Singles has 24 of them for you ready to go. Shout out you guys. And another card that's half off as well is Prince John. This rare was a little closer to like $20 at one point. It was peaking, and in that Market Watch video I said, hey, maybe wait till December 1st before you start looking for your Prince Johns. And today's December 1st, and check this out. They're half off. Ooh, kind of crazy, right? You guys should share these videos with your homies that buy cards and make bad financial decisions so that you guys can make better shopping decisions and follow Lorcana Goons. But wow, man, Prince John, very important in the discard deck. You basically need it in every discard engine you're going to be playing. You need 4 of them. So the thing about Lorcana is, as more players start playing the game, more people are going to need 4 Prince John when they make their Prince John deck. So I just feel like some of these prices may not stay as low as, as it is today. So if these are some, maybe not get them from TCG Player because it does take a while for them to come in the mail. Shout out Zach Stone and the person who sold them a foil Prince John that never arrived. I remember we even bought it on the Market Watch.
Hey, it's still within the time limit. I can't complain.
Of
It
course,
could
of
arrive
course.
today, and if it does, then it made it.
Okay, they got 1 day left. Okay, and then
Hey man, hey, it's all good. It's all good. Things happen, but I again, without the with the benefit of the doubt, without any proof, there's nothing I can really feel like I could say. Although there is like the thought that lingers in everyone's head. Another thought that I feel like lingers in another one's head is Pinocchio, because he'd be lying a lot. And that card is what, $5? It was 15 when I think it first came out. What is going on?
yeah, I think people wanted this card to be like $20, so it was kind of like getting price hiked a little bit, and then it just dipped. It's a good card, but it's not used in every version of like an Amethyst aggro deck, and even then, like it's only it has a lot of potential. I think the Flutterborn Pinocchio has potential too, but it just doesn't seem like this is a card you need in every deck. The demand just isn't there, but let's say a demand for a card like Flavorsham. This dude was in the starter decks, and look at this, man. This guy, I don't even know if this guy's half off. I don't even know what to say about this dude, because this card was like $10, $9, $8, $7, and December 1st rolls around. There's a bajillion starter decks on the shelves, and now we can find them as low as $4 basically.
Evan, people finally woke up and realized it comes in the starter deck.
Yeah, people finally realize, like, hey, I could just buy a starter deck and I'll get a Flavor Sham with a queen and a pack instead of buying $10 Flavor Shams. It's kind of wild, right? I took a while for me to realize that too. But yeah, we have the lowest verified by Quibbles TCG. They have one of them for $2.90. Shout out you guys, and then it goes up to $3.75. So it's a little closer to a $4 rare. There is one seller that has it at $3, but after that, it goes to $4. But it's a $4 rare. It's still an amazing card, and it's still a starter deck card that it warrants that price. The Madam M Fox was like a $4 rare for a long time in that starter deck, and Flavor Sham is just gonna take that price. Amazing card in Ruby in any Sapphire deck. Actually, I've seen people play this, play the Popsicle Flavor Sham engine in Sapphire with like every other color. So it's kind of crazy how you can experiment with cards like this right now. This format, man, I really like it. Another card that goes great with Flavor Sham is Nick Wild. Nick Wild is an uncommon that's still kind of kept its price above $2. We have the lowest verified Pink Gorilla cards, and then we have Battle Phase. They have 2,000 plus sales. They have 4 of them ready for you for $2.85. But after that, you can find plenty of people listing it for $2, $1.88, $1.94, $1.95. And so if you need Nick Wilds, that's going to be the only uncommon in the Rise of the Floodborn that seems like it's going to be worth more than $1, right? They're a little harder to pull, but there's a couple more cards that are actually kind of going up in price. Not too many, but there are some cards going up in price, right, Zach?
I mean, I got one card to mention, and that's from Rise of the Floodborn. It's the Sorcerer's Spellbook. This card was like probably $1, barely $1. You're starting to see like it hit close to $3, and I feel like this card warrants that price. It being just an item that gains lore, I think is a very interesting mechanic. I think a lot of people are like undervaluing how like important this card can be in like some matchups for like any Amethyst control variants. And the Merlin Goat is another card that I think just like breaks the game in a very interesting way. So like those cards in combination, I feel like are very powerful. Gaining like lore without having to quest, I think is a very, very hard thing to stop. And so, unless you have a card that prevents your opponent from gaining any amount of lore during their next turn, or taking away their, like more cards like Aladdin that steal lore, it's going to be a hard thing to fight back without any breaks either.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I think the card is pretty good. I was going over some deck lists, and there was a deck list specifically called "Spellbook Sucks." And that deck list won a first place case tournament and a another tournament. But it's just people's different take on the way the game is played right now. That version of that deck was super aggressive. You're talking about a more control version, yeah. And I think in the control version, being able to manipulate gaining a free lore is pretty wild. But there are a couple other cards that have been doing what Spellbook is doing. Cards from Chapter 1, actually. So grab your swords. This was like less than $2 yesterday, 2 days ago even. And it's been slowly going back up. This is also a starter deck rare, but it's just a rare that has always gone up and down in price. It was $10 at one point almost, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And now we see it going back up past that $3 mark. We have it lowest verified by Blade for $225 plus $1 shipping. And then we have more sellers who have it for $324, $319. So grab your swords, going back up in price a little bit, along with Fishbone Quill 2. Fishbone Quill is getting close to that $4 mark. The popularity in Sapphire Flavor Sham decks means that you can finally use Fishbone Quill to its full potential, because you can just ramp as much ink as you want, and then you start gaining infinite advantage with Flavor Shams. Pop 1, draw 2, quest, draw 2, boom, your hand is refilled, and your Fishbone Quill didn't waste your whole hand. So now these Fishbone Quills are getting close to about $4, and you look at this, somebody bought a foil Fishbone Quill for only $4.95. That's a really good come up in my opinion. So Fishbone Quill is a card that's going back up in price, and be prepared as well.
Let's hope they get it.
Oh yeah, I hope they get it. Yeah, let's hope they get it, right? Be prepared as well as another one. This is a staple in any Ruby deck, getting closer to the $10 mark. Oh, check this out too. I'm pretty sure it's probably the same buyer. Somebody bought a Be Prepared right now for $10, a foil. Let's hope they get it.
Let's hope they get it.
the non-foils are literally $9. We have a lowest verified by Legend Games, $8.99 plus $1 shipping, and after that, if you keep going through the lowest verified, it starts going to $8 plus $1.25 shipping, and $9.35, slowly getting to that $10 range, guys. And the fact that, you know what, I'm gonna see if there's any foils listed at $10. And the fact that people haven't bought these, there's multiple foils here for 10. You know what, we're just gonna add these to the cart real quick. I got my TCG buyback money. Okay, I don't know how these. Okay, I'm gonna buy these, then I'm uploading the video. I'm sorry, guys, you do not get to beat me on this one. Foil, Be Prepared right here, and the non-foils are $9 and the foils are $10. You guys know what that means. When it's something like this, like a staple, especially from Chapter 1, something's gonna happen. So either the non-foil price is gonna dip or the foil price is gonna go up. But either way, I think the foil price stabilizes. So I think $10 is a great price. But I'm gonna buy those after we go over the last bit of our market watch. We have some D23 promo news. Can you believe this, Zach Stone? I know you're not big on collectibles, but we have a sale for a Corella DeVille from the D23 Expo. A PSA 9 sold for $900 on November 28th. So that's pretty low in my opinion. I love the D23 promos. These are the only first edition Lorcana cards. I know a lot of people want to swear that their Enchanted Elsa from the first wave is an infinitely different color and cut and all these other oogly boogly things than the Enchanted reprinted Elsa, but this is the only first edition set of Lorcana cards. They're the only cards that have the first edition mark. I don't know if they're ever going to make other cards like it, but they're the only cards right now that exist that have that first edition mark. And we have a PSA 10 Elsa that sold today for $6,850. That is pretty close to that market price, if I'm not mistaken. I'm asking my brother, who keeps up with this way more, and he was letting me know that the Elsa, usually the D23 PSA 10 Elsa, the last sale was around $7,000. So pretty consistent with the most recent sale. I know this bores you, Zach Stone, because it's not cards you can sell immediately, but I'm fascinated with the D23 promo cards.
Don't get me wrong. I don't deny the real. It's more in something that I just don't want to like buy into. I can have a conversation about it, and I understand how good the collectability is. It definitely has to be something I always tell people to like be mindful of. Like these kind of cards are very new still, and a lot of people fear that like they're going to miss out on the best time to buy. Again, it's going to get driven up, you know, like authentically, inauthentically. I personally believe that like it's just a very scary thing to get into, and I just don't suggest to anyone that I know to, you know, buy expensive like collectibles that are like new. I usually tell people to go to older games.
Of course, it is It is a risk. It's a lot of money. I can't afford this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I would love to. If I had $1 million, I would buy them all. Shoot. But I think at the end of the day, it really is up to you on how you guys want to do it. We're just here to kind of express our opinions. It's not financial advice, but we do have some awesome D23 promos that the collectors can invest, or invest their time and effort and research into probably acquiring. So I do like that Lorcana has that collector aspect, like this level. Hopefully, it does kind of sustain, the market does kind of sustain itself in these. But that's just me being optimistic. But that is all for the Friday, December 1st market watch. If you guys enjoyed this content, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and tune in for Monday because we do these every Monday and Friday. So maybe the prices are going to be different by Monday, and hopefully they will be even cheaper if you're trying to buy cards, and if you're trying to sell cards, hopefully it'll be more expensive because it works both ways, guys. And remember to support your local goons. We appreciate you guys. Anything you want to say, Zach?
As always, everyone, these market watches are definitely more informative for you guys. I think it's a buyer's market. I think you guys should get into it right now, especially been waiting to buy some of these cards. And as always, everyone, stay tuned to Lorcana Goons.
Yeah, all right. We will see you goons next time.